Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This is chapter 6 entitled Dhyana Yoga. Text 19. And it's a very short purport, but it's a very powerful text. So yeah, fine, we can see what the Acharya is saying. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Which one? What you said? I heard something else. Okay, what do you say? Shri what? Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutala Swam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaganaragnatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Dada Krishna Padam Sahit Ragana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Shah Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Chigatpate Gopeshavatska Kantara Rakantanamasute Tapta Kanchana Gorangirade Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhana Sute Devukanamami Harikriya Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripasindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. You know what we can do? Maybe we can use this sitting mat and flip it legs on just one door, the left one. Yeah, I mean the one which is closed, anyone which is closed. Yeah, that's it. So less the distraction. Yatha dipo nivatasto nengate sopama smrita Yogino yatta chitasya yunjato yogam atmanaha. Translation. And later we'll hear the purport of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So, as a lamp in a windless place does not waver, so the transcendentalist whose mind is controlled always remains always steady in his meditation on the transcendent self. So as the lamp in a windless place does not waver, so the transcendentalist whose mind is controlled remains always steady in his meditation on the transcendent self. Just recently one boy came, and now last Sunday, this Sunday, and he said he's going for a certain meditation course. He said he's going to forest for some time, and then he will learn some meditation. Why are you laughing? It's not funny. Serious subject matter discussion. And he's going to learn meditation. I say, yeah. So anyway, so let's discuss a little bit about meditation. What is meditation? Yeah. Now, first of all, forest. What does it mean, forest? Yeah. Are we are we qualified to be in the forest? What does it mean, forest? I just come there for, like half an hour, 1 hour, okay, maybe 2-3 hours. Is that what it means when it said that in Bhagavad Gita, like we hear that somebody who wants to practice yoga process, he has to live in a secluded place? Is there any secluded place available nowadays? Is it easy to find a secluded place? It's very difficult, right? Either you would have to go to the peak of some mountain, or maybe you would really have to find some cave, or you would really, I don't know what, maybe you would have to sit somewhere on some tree. It's not easy. First of all, it's really not easy to find secluded place, because even if you go somewhere, where can you go? That means you would, if you want to find a secluded place, you would really have to go somewhere deep in the jungle, very deep in the jungle. Then there is the least chance that somebody is going to pass through that jungle, right? And that's not easy. That means you would have to be equipped. Like yoga, first of all, yoga, the whole process of yoga is very demanding process, because you have to equip yourself for what? To be able to sustain your life without living in any particular community, without living very close to any community even practically. That means you have to live alone. You have to live alone. How? How do you live alone? You don't even gather leaves or fruits or roots. Practically you have to sustain your life only on air. That's a real yoga practice. Who can do that? We hear Hiranyakashipu, and that's not, of course, that's another subject now. That's not that somebody's practicing yoga and he does it for a few minutes or a few hours. There are definitions of meditation. Meditation, the real focus, that there has to be undisturbed, like here it says, like a lamp in a windless place. Undisturbed. For 45 minutes at least. Did anyone ever achieve that? Now some of you are practicing for some time. Did you ever achieve? 45 minutes would mean, let's say 6 to 8 rounds, depending on speed. Did any one of you ever achieve that kind of unwavering condition of chanting, hearing all the rounds, all of those rounds at least, for 45 minutes? It's almost inconceivable. That's real meditation. And then what to speak of equipping oneself, that one doesn't have to think about thirst, one doesn't have to think about hunger, one is really capable of sustaining his life only on air. That means you have to be expert in pranayama. Also, or already you don't practice pranayama, you just study in meditation. You don't even have to do your pranayama, you do that before. And for years. We know what the austerities we can't imagine this. So who is qualified of such kind of steady meditation, and what to speak of being undisturbed by the bodily necessities? That's called dharana. Dharana means cessation of any sensual urges. Pranayam, dhyan, dharana, samadhi. So it's like who is capable? It's very difficult. It's very difficult. Actually, it's impossible. For us, it's impossible. So when people say, "Oh, I'm going to forest," and then forest sounds great. Sounds like some kind of trekking picnic or something, But then what do you sit down? You sit down, and then some ants start crawling. was in and I was living out.
Wi-Fi baby. Oh, I think the Wi-Fi.
How did it come? Well, it came. How? It climbed, it came. So how you just go to forest and you're just thinking, am I going to, is snake going to come? Yeah. Or what to speak of any more, well, you don't have to say more dangerous, but some bigger, ferocious wild animal. And you sit peacefully in meditation. You really have to be ignorant, thinking that everything is great and fine, and then being fearless. That's one of the qualities also. One has to achieve that kind of state, being fearless also. Because being fearless, it's the qualification also, like here, like a lamp in a windless place, doesn't waver. Mind is controlled, mind is steady on transcendent self in meditation, it's not disturbed. So, where is the question of achieving such kind of state? Yeah? Of really not being disturbed. Or in Mayapur, it was interesting also, nighttime you hear those jackals, it's like, sometimes it's heavy, they make a heavy sound, and it's like, but you're not supposed to practice like you haven't heard it. You're supposed to be fixed and steady on the meditating. So that's a jackal. What will jackal do? Nothing. Jackal is like some small dog or fox or something. Maybe if they come together, they can create some trouble. But you're not really supposed to be afraid of jackals. Usually they're afraid of a man. They run away. I saw them a few times while walking like this around. So, where is the question of that focus of transcendence? And then for how much time one can remain steady in any kind of focus and transcendence. So when we talked about meditation, we spoke about this in this Bhagavad Gita class sometimes earlier. What is the most powerful thing that can make us focus on any object of meditation? Of course, there is a question also. First of all, there is a question, what is our focus? What is the focus of our meditation? I was once in Phnom Penh. Anybody knows where is the Phnom Penh? Phnom Penh. It's the capital of one country. You don't know? Never been there. So anyway, to cut the story short, I ended up somehow, anyway, it was a big adventure, which I didn't ask for, but it so happened. And I didn't have place to stay, I didn't have money, nothing, it was just all big mess. So I went to some Buddhist pagoda. Pagoda means temple. And I was asking, can I stay somewhere, something, can I, it's like so. Then in one day, kicked me out, but then some other one, there was some fellow, I said, okay, you can stay with me. So then I stayed with them. Anyway, that's a whole different experience, what was going on and this and that. And then they had a meditation, time also. And then there was another boy, the only fellow who spoke English, amongst all of those others. So he was telling me that, how they're doing this meditation. He said, you find a dot on the wall. Like there's that key hole or something, I don't know. And he said, and then you concentrate, and then you focus and you meditate. And, like you find a dot on the ceiling. Can you find a dot on the ceiling? I mean, here are some scratches, but what? It has to be a dot. It has to be a dot because it's that's the minimum focus that you should have. You can't keep on going like this or a little more than that. Of course, there's one big spot here, but that's too big. Parish is going to break on your... You came from Goa, I heard? And... So you're supposed to focus on one particular point like this. So how is that possible? I mean, for how long you can focus on it? So first we really have to be clear about the object of meditation. What do you want to be your object of meditation? What would you want to have as object of, no, not you. What would you want to have object of your meditation? Think for a second. Think for a second. What would you want to have as an object of your meditation? You're supposed to meditate. So what would you choose? I'm going to meditate upon. I mean, you really have to be clear about absolutely everything. What am I going to gain out of it? What am I, what's the point? So this boy said, I want to empty the mind. I was talking about Zen Buddhism and stuff, empty the mind. Or make the mind tranquil, or something like this. I mean, what's the point? What do you gain by this? Okay, then maybe mind won't be disturbed, but again, you come out immediately, mind becomes disturbed. You just meet someone, immediately you get disturbed. No, it takes few seconds. And all of your so-called meditation earlier, what's the point of it? Nothing. You're just back into even worse. You can get, or you can be brought into even worse case than you were before so-called that kind of meditation. So what was the point of that meditation? So that obviously it's not really the type of meditation. You empty your mind, sound of one hand clapping. You meditate on that. Meditate on that. What do you gain by it? Really, it's just, is this sound of one hand clapping? But it's no. Anyway, they have some techniques of how to make mind so bewildered that, meditate on one hand, on sound of one hand clapping. So we really have to be clear about the object of meditation. Okay, so what would you want to have as object of your meditation? Because don't tell me Mahaprashadam and stuff like that. All of that wouldn't be bad, it's a pretty, it's a pretty transcendental type of meditation, it's still half an hour is there. So it's already ready, Okay, what else? What would you want to have as an object of your meditation? Yes.
On our soul.
On our soul. On our soul. Okay, you're going to meditate on your own soul. You know what is your own soul. But then how are you going to meditate? No. You have to know. You have to have some idea. You have to have some knowledge. Then you can meditate. What else?
Meditate on 400 form of Krishna and Krishna.
How many form? What?
Paramatma feature.
Paramatma feature. Okay. Going to meditate on Paramatma. What else? Anybody else want to meditate
Prabhuji?
on anything?
Yeah, I like to. On the emotion of love, the love for Lord Krishna also, but I think it takes time as students for us to reach to that level, but the emotion of love is something that really strikes. You feel very happy in that state.
Okay.
Holy name?
Holy name. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do every day. Meditate on the holy name. Anything else? I'm just trying to I'm just trying to bring you to the point to understand, that what means meditation. Because first of all, you have to know the object of your meditation. You have to be really conversant with what's that object, what it means, what is it going to bring you. Otherwise, if I'm just doing something, I'm just practicing something for sake of saying that I'm doing certain practice. Is that good enough? No.
People do meditate on Kundalini chakras.
Kundalini chakras. Okay, so what does that mean?
We need to have chakras in our body, 7 chakras.
Okay, have chakras in the body. sound, and then what? You're releasing certain energy, or you're opening the energy to flow, or something like this. Okay, so then you feel somewhat better, sattvic, or something like this. Okay, so then there is some difference, but then that's that can be a very diverting process, no? Because then you could still identify, or you do still identify with the material body. It has nothing to do with spiritual life, really. It's material. It's just better, far better material life, no? That you're gaining something by releasing certain energies within the body. Right?
Final process in it is like you take it to the head.
And then what?
What the name of it?
Brahmarandra.
So that's the
Whatever.
maybe the path to the body.
Okay, so anyway, whatever it might be, whole idea is any kind of meditation easy? No, it's very difficult. Why is it difficult? Because especially we live nowadays in this age where every moment, like I said, I said this, I still, people are passing through my mind. Look at this. Somebody can, there's so many distractions, incredibly so many distractions. So you can't just, even if you go to forest, you try to find some secluded place. Let's say you go to cave. How do you know what is in the cave, or who comes in the cave, or what might happen there in the cave, or always some kind of unpleasant state of mind might be there. So it's a very difficult process, and this is what Krishna discusses with Arjuna in this 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. He said this jnana yoga, this is the process for self-realization, of course, but not, as we know, not for this age. It's not for this age. In the age of Satya Yuga, even snakes didn't bother anybody. So yogis had no fear of snakes practically. Everything was very favorable for that kind of process. But nowadays, it's just so disturbing. We can't even, as I said, we can't find a secluded place. It's so difficult. There's going to be some noise. There's going to be some whatever, some kind of disturbance going to be. Yeah. There's going to be, if you reach the higher states of meditation, now the 5G is coming, right? Slowly. I heard first there's going to be 4.5. Then they're going to, because they don't have facilities, then they're going to increase it to 5G, and then then you will start feeling all those vibrations. If you start meditating, if you come to that subtle state, and you'll become disturbed by all those wavelengths, they're going to disturb your mind. And of course, everybody's going to get cancer very nicely, and so many other side effects, just for sake of having little faster internet and whatever else that goes on. But that's Kali Yuga. It's just really absolutely unfavorable for anything. Okay, so that's why essentially we know that which is our greatest fortune, is that by chanting of the holy name, right, we can try to reach that stage of steadiness, of fixedness of this process, and any other processes practically, just by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, right? But what does that mean now, chanting? That means, what it means, what is the meaning of chanting of Hare Krishna? What's the translation? If we would want to translate Hare Krishna and Rama in the 16-word combination, what would be the meaning? What is meaning? Most of you are chanting, right? So then what does that mean? That means that you don't know what you're doing? If you can't tell me now, you're doing something, you don't know what. One second. Huh? What it means?
Praying to serve means literally begging for service.
Yeah, okay, something like this. Right? Yeah. Really? You don't know what it means?
Krishna, please engage me in your devotionals.
Okay. No, but we should know what we are doing. If you're chanting, we should know what it means. No. So what do we gain by devotional service? Krishna Prema. Okay, what do we gain from Krishna Prema? Satisfaction. Ananda, yeah, okay, fine. So that's what we are doing. But and then do we have to gain anything else? No. That's why Krishna is saying to the gopis, just be pleased. I can't repay for your service. I can't, I'm so indebted. So just be pleased with that bliss that you're gaining from that service itself. Let that be your reward. So if we are engaged in serving Krishna, just that itself, that's the greatest actual reward. That's the greatest bliss. That's the greatest achievement that we can gain. Just being satisfied by being placed in that kind of devotional service. That's it. There's nothing else that we have to aspire for, and we won't require anything else to aspire, because that itself will be so satisfying. Yeah? And why will that be satisfying? Because we know when we serve, we are doing what? Why we are serving? We are exchanging what? What does it mean, service? Do we do service, like they serve in the, during the flight, so they serve you in the restaurant or something. Is that the way the service is? No. So then what kind of services? What is exchanged? What is exchanged? Yeah, love is exchanged. We pointed out in earlier sessions, we said there's no more powerful force than love or lust, right? Right? That's it. Because it's so easy. So easy then to be focused in your meditation, correct? Sahil, there was some girl sometimes earlier that you were meditating on before Krishna consciousness. Really? You're joking? So many, huh? I mean, I'm just... So you see how easy it is then when one is just focused on certain object of love, right? Completely transfixed. Just like it's just like a lamp in a windless place. Neither the hunger, neither the thirst, neither the sleep, nothing will disturb your object of meditation, right? Your meditation or your focus on the object of that meditation, right? So you see what a power then that is. And how easy then it's to meditate. So easy to meditate then. Yeah. And you're always thinking, what is she doing now? How will I meet her? How will I, and then even if she, don't laugh now. This is very serious subject matter. And, it's like, then which way she will go, and then so I can, this, and there's so many funny things now. How will I impress her? By what I will impress her or something. That's meditation, you see? And it's so easy. So this is why it's so much easier rather than just meditating like transcendentalists. See, they could achieve this. We have trouble achieving this. We have a huge trouble. But they could, in such a yoga, they could really achieve this type of focus on Paramatma. On Paramatma. But even about Paramatma, you should know something about Paramatma. That's right. That's why jnana is also very important. That means having some knowledge, having some understanding. Then you can really focus on object of your love. That's meditation. Yeah. And then you're not disturbed. Again, Same thing. You're not disturbed by hunger. You're not disturbed by sleep. You're not disturbed by thirst. We have example, which was, not necessarily that kind of meditation, but what about Parikshit Maharaj? Right? He went to Goa, and then he was meditating. He was meditating 7 days, no sleep, no eating, no drinking. He was only meditating. I don't know what he was meditating, but hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Huh? Did you hear Srimad Bhagavatam?
I attended a lecture online.
Okay.
Yesterday,
Let us just Chaitanya. Okay. I was just very moved when in beginning of 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam there is that discussion with Shukadev Goswami saying that how, Parikshit Maharaj was saying that he reacted garlanding the snake around the sage's neck, that snake. He was so disturbed because he was so thirsty and sage didn't welcome him, right? He was so disturbed. But he said now, there is no question of any thirst, there's no question of any hunger, there's no question of any sleep. 7 days straight because he was so transfixed hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. That's a meditation. That's a meditation. That's incredible focusing. We know every focus. What it means. Focus. Focus means it's like that magnifying glass. When you magnify the light on the paper, it will burn, right? If you don't have a magnifying glass, light is everywhere. Nothing will burn. So see just the potency of the focus. How much more benefit one can derive, and how much more success one can have by having that kind of meditation. Meditation again out of world. Yeah. Okay. Any questions on this? Yes. You want to add something? Okay, so who had these Acharya's commentaries? Can we make it like really brief? Hearing the just certain essence. I don't know. I guess are there long commentaries or just short? Who has them? Huh?
I am allotted Vishwanath Chakravarti.
So can you give the essence? Don't read. Don't read. Just give the essence.
Okay, so in this verse,
Okay, do one thing. Just turn this laptop towards. Yeah, you don't worry. You can just sit there and Okay, just really in essence, what is Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur?
okay, so in this verse 6.19, Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur compares, two things are compared. Lamp, when it is in a windless position, it does not waver at all, and a consciousness of a yogi who is in meditation. So both things are compared. The consciousness of a yogi also does not move like the lamp does not flicker in a windless situation. So why basically flickering is not flickering is important is because we have seen in Srimad Bhagavatam in the 9th canto, the example of even of Sobri Rishi, his mind flicked. He was deep in the meditation in Yamuna river, and his mind flickered a little bit towards two fishes mating, and his meditation got disturbed. So your mind should not flicker. For a yogi to reach this situation, he has to follow what is being given in the previous verses. Like he has to meditate in the verse 13 and 14. It has been said you have to meditate on the Paramatma feature within the heart. You have to maintain a particular posture, take appropriate diet, appropriate sleep. So once a yogi reaches this level, his mind is only focused on his soul, and his mind does not waver at all. So that is why the mind of a yogi is compared with the flame of the candle.
Okay, who is next?
So in this verse, Srila Ramanujacharya explains that when we have no any material desire and we have only a spiritual desire, then we become like a lamp who exists in a wellness condition, who have been self-illuminating, not flickering. We have will be self-illuminating, like that candle. As it's in previous verse, Krishna also said that who have no material desires is to be situated in yoga. So here Ramanujacharya explains that only that we should not have any material desire but a spiritual desire. Then we become like a lamp which is not flickering in windless condition. Hare Krishna.
Okay, who is next?
So, in this commentary of Sridhar Swami Maharaj Ji says that Sridhar Swami Maharaj.
Okay.
He says how to control mind facilitates to our meditation on God. So he gave the example of candle. If a candle is in windless place, so it will not flicker, it will stay stable and it will bright more than the windy place. If we place the candle in windy place, so it will like flicker and in some time it will get extinguished also. But like your yogis and all.
That's when your meditation is extinguished.
If our mind is not in control.
Yeah.
If our mind is in control, we can totally connect from God.
Disconnect.
If our mind is in control.
Okay.
Not
in control. But when it's not in control, then you can disconnect. Right?
Yeah.
And then it's not easy to light that candle again. Huh? Focus mind again. Okay.
So,
that's it. Huh? Who else?
otherwise I will
Other child, who else? No?
Which one?
Yeshua. Who is left?
Rohan Prabhu.
Rohan Prabhu and they are not here. Okay, Bharan, something. Take one. Okay, so let's take one and then some. Like give him.
Is your question
Alright. Okay, make yourself ready. Alright.
Hare Krishna. So Keshav Kashmiri commentary, so what he's saying is that when will the persons qualified to practice yoga, when the science of individual consciousness attaining communion with the ultimate consciousness become established in yoga perfection. Lord Krishna declares that when mind refrains and abstains from all external mental activity and becomes exclusively riveted internally on the Atma or soul within, then it has been determined by experts that the mind is established in yoga.
Okay, sure. Either which one, doesn't matter, just come here. Whatever is left. So, don't worry about Shankara. Don't worry about Shankara. Mother. Give the essence of Mother. Prabhuji itself. Mother. Huh? Is what?
Here Lord Krishna uses the word Atman to indicate the eternal.
Okay, give the essence. How is it? Is it long or what?
That's it again.
That's it.
That is simply the essence.
Okay. Essence. Okay, what's left? Anything left? After Shankaracharya, usually he always gives some Sanskrit. Okay, that's it. And then Prabhupada says, A truly Krishna-conscious person, always absorbed in transcendence, in constant, undisturbed meditation on his worshipable Lord, is as steady as a lamp in a windless place. You know, like a mother. Is mother always fixed on a child? Mostly, it should be. That's expected. No, generally that's expected. You know, just every moment where the child is, what's it doing, where, you know, is it crawling, is it running, is it this, that? Is it touching anything? Is it putting anything in the mouth? Whatever it might be. It's a constant absorption. Constant absorption. So that's a meditation. So when we love, or hopefully at some point we will develop love for Krishna, right? Then we will see Krishna everywhere. Then our meditation will be 24, like Prabhupada would say, 24 hours a day. Constant meditation. In the subtle body, when you're dreaming, or in the awakened state, right? So whatever we would see, if I see the time now, can I see Krishna? No. If I see now, it's 10 minutes to 9 at least. Here it's 15, that's a little faster, okay. If I see time, if I see clock, can I remember Krishna? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, of course I can remember Krishna. Krishna says, time, I am the destroyer of the universes. Krishna is the time. Calls me Bharatarshava. So I can see Krishna in the time, as the time. If I see fan, how can I think of Krishna? Bolo. By seeing fan or experiencing the cooling of the fan, is there anything that can remind us of Krishna? Krishna is like a moon, cooling rays of moon, no? Maybe that. Can always, there's some connection, always somewhere, somehow, no? Or anything else? Sudarshan Chakra. Okay, Sudarshan Chakra. But that wouldn't be cooling, that would be heating. Yeah. Okay, anything, okay, what else? Laptop. Okay, somebody else answer. Laptop. How do we see Krishna in laptop? We can have some nice photo of Krishna, no? Wallpaper, or not necessarily even that. We just read Srimad Bhagavatam. Use laptop for some Krishna conscious purposes, no? Okay, what else? Practically everything should, if it's not sinful only, if it's not sinful, but actually everything else can be connected to Krishna. Everything else. Of course, even apparently sinful things, they're not sinful if they're in connection to Krishna also. So practically everywhere we can see Krishna. And this is what Krishna explains also in Bhagavad Gita. That's going to come later. So seeing Krishna through his opulence everywhere. Because out of all the greatest things which are just the sparks of his splendor, Atavaba Naitena Ekam Shena Stito Jagat. It's just such a small spark of his splendor. Krishna's potency is present everywhere. So we can always meditate on Krishna. So if we know about Krishna, therefore we can see Krishna everywhere. And if we hear about Krishna's pastimes, if we hear about Krishna's qualities, if we hear about Krishna's beautiful form, we'll be always fixed upon Krishna. And therefore our minds won't waver. Not even waver, what to speak of, becoming extinguished by something else. Now it's very easy for our meditation to become extinguished, right? That our Krishna consciousness becomes extinguished by lusty desires, by whatever else. That's not just wavering, that's that danger that it becomes extinguished. So that's why we have to somehow create some kind of circumstance where we can remain Krishna conscious and fixed in that meditation of Krishna. Of course, because the very meditation, it's not so easy. This is why Srila Prabhupada, understanding the mentality and conditioning of the living beings in this age of Kali, he gave us the process of 9-fold devotional service, where we can engage our senses in Krishna's service, right? And we can connect everything in Krishna's service, and therefore we can advance in bhakti. So that we also see Krishna through, doing everything. Whatever else we have to do, but connecting it to Krishna, then we advance in bhakti and we become attached to Krishna. Okay, any questions? On the lamp in a windless place. Any questions? Anything? Okay, we have something here. Nothing except the list of who is supposed to read what, which commentary. No? Any questions? Okay, we have some special Mahaprasadam to be distributed before you have a dinner. So then we'll spend some time doing this, associating and meditating on Mahaprasadam. Therefore we will stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.